Sacramento is a really giving town. I mean, when that day of giving, special day of giving comes, pow, money comes out of our pockets to great services of the nonprofit service organizations throughout the town. But through the year following that event, many of the service organizations have fundraisers. And today you're gonna, if you sit down, get a pencil, because there are two great fundraisers coming up. You're gonna love it. We're gonna have somebody from the Festival of Flavors, which is an interesting service organization that services international refugees and local refugees. And then also we're gonna have some refugees that are four-footed, because we're gonna talk to Bobby Mann, who's gonna do the Pause to Party. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after these important messages. Special place, and it has been around for a long time, and it actually does open doors to our community, to people who are coming into it who have been alienated elsewhere, and people who have lived here who have been alienated. And with me in the studio, I love your title. It's called Community Engagement Manager. It's Azra Bravamovic.
Thank you.
And you're working on this one project right now that's called the Festival of Flavors. To somebody who is a gourmand like me, we love ideas. Whoop! I don't know what that was, but we know you're going to put that back up. Okay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's our sign right there. See, it's LiveWire. Yeah. Anyway, tell me about this festival. It sounds like a really wonderful thing. It's a international food event, right?
Correct. Once again, thank you so much for having me. And my name is Azra. I actually, for the past 3 months or so, I have been coordinating with a group of the people from my agency and coordinating in order to bring this Festival of Flavors to the best possible light. We have been able to secure secure a lot of food for a good local restaurants.
Yes.
Food, not just food, will come from a different parts of world. When I say will come from the restaurants that they're serving
right.
the food from a different
they
parts
weren't flown
of the
over
world.
from Bosnia.
Exactly,
right.
Absolutely
we
right.
get that.
Absolutely right. So, but let me tell you a little bit about the agency that I work for, if that is okay.
Go.
So I work for the Opening Doors. Opening Doors is funded, it's one of the nonprofit agency locally based in Sacramento. And Opening Doors happen to be one of the 5 refugee resettlement agency here in Sacramento.
I see. And is it funded by the government too?
This type of refugee resettlement department, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get the fundings from different pots of dollars.
Yeah, we talked about this before the show, and you said that not only are they from refugees, but and I use the word alienation. I thought, but also there are people who have been part of local problems that we have that we've discussed on this program a number of times, like people who have been young women who have been trafficked as sex slaves and things like that. And it's a horrible thing. And then we recover them, and they need help.
Absolutely. Yes, that's correct. Besides serving the refugees and immigrants, we also serve survivors of human trafficking.
So survivors of immigration too,
yeah.
especially at these times,
yeah.
or times like these.
So it's a comprehensive case management.
Yes.
We provide the team and that the specific department provides emergency housing, and we also make sure that they're well connected with all the services that are eligible here locally in the community.
I mean, there are lots of service organizations in Sacramento, and I always wondered if there was one that drew them all together, you know, and for specific services to issues that confront refugees, and there is.
It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the event. This is a fundraiser for the programs.
Exactly. As I mentioned, Opening Doors, not sure if I mentioned it or not, but Opening Doors is founded back in 1993. This year we are celebrating our 25th anniversary.
Good.
And we will be hosting our fundraising event this coming Saturday at Sierra 2 Center at Curtis Hall. So this coming Saturday from 6 to 9, please
At
come.
Sierra 2.
At Sierra 2.
Yeah, that's on Broadway and 25th, in that general area.
Yes, that's correct.
Pretty easy to find, folks, to go to the Festival of Flavors. 2791 is it 21st Street?
24th Street.
24th Street. That's right.
Correct. And tickets can be purchased on our website, openingdoorsinc.org.
That's pretty easy. Opening Doors.
Inc. Yes, that's correct. So please visit our website for more information. We'll be more than happy to have you there and for you to taste all this wonderful food that we secure in the past couple of months for all of us.
So Azra, how did you get this kind of a job being an events manager? I mean, it's a very interesting organization. You know, I mean, there are 500 nonprofits in the greater Sacramento area. You go to ABCD?
Yeah, so I happen to be a refugee myself. So I came in Sacramento as a refugee back in late 90s from Bosnia and Herzegovina with my family at the time. And Opening Doors was, I was receiving services from the Opening Doors. As a former refugee, as a former client of this organization, I strongly believe in the services that we provide. And I was able to succeed in much faster and in much more sufficient way with the help of this agency. So I will strongly suggest that you guys come and join us for this event.
Will you be there?
Yes, of course, I will be there.
It's a very interesting thing, you know. Here's someone who's gone through that immigration process, coming out of a war-torn country, and coming to our factional city, and becoming a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but there also be a couple. Not only is there good food, we talked about international food, but there's silent. My favorite thing, which is silent auction with art.
That's correct. Yes. We're going to be hosting the silent auction, featuring works from local artists, and also items that were donated by the local businesses. Wines. That's correct. Some jewelry. A lot of artwork, a lot of our great artwork pieces that will be
and tickets to sports events.
Exactly,
not that sports is big in this town at all. It only has a multi-million-dollar basketball court. But no, true. I mean, it's a silent auction with lots of good things.
Exactly.
But I love the idea of jewelers, which who are artists, I see as artists. And we have a little slideshow. Can we look at that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So these are slides from your last year's event, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So you be the narrator.
Okay, I'll try.
All right. No, here we go. And here's Azra.
Okay. So here we are looking at outside singing area in the Curtis Park Hall. As you can tell, one of our employees right there in the middle dancing while we were having musicians playing. It's a very nice event, pretty formal, relaxed, with a great food, as I say, and great local crafted beer and wine. This is during the daytime. very well visited. As you can tell, we had a lot of visitors, great light, great food, people mingling, talking, and a lot engaging. Isn't this picture is where we were right before we were getting ready to serve the drinks and food before we were receiving the guests. And this is one of our wonderful employees serving a special dish prepared in an Iraqi way. It's a half a lamb baked on the rice. I don't know really the name of the lamb, but I know it's very delicious. It's super delicious.
I like delicious.
Yeah.
And the award goes to Azra Abramovich for her narration of a fundraiser for a wonderful organization called Opening Doors Incorporated.
Thank you. And I also want to share that all the profits will benefit Opening Doors programs and allowed us to continue serving and empowering refugees, immigrants, and survivors of human trafficking.
That's really great. And also there'll be live music there, and so you can just jump on the web there and go to www.openingdoorsinc.org.
That's correct.
And pick up your tickets, learn more about Opening Doors, and then come on down and be part of this. You can meet some interesting folks, right?
Correct.
And they have a fabulous tabla player. It's not me, but my wife bought me a tabla, and it still sits on my bookshelf. I'll learn it someday, probably not, but I like it. At any rate, I really wish you well on this event. I think it's fabulous that we have an organization that greets right here in the middle of the state people who are refugees and takes good care of them. I hope they do.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I wish you well. And we're going to take a short pause for the cause, but there it is, Festival of, it says favors, but it really means flavors. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. We'll be back after these important messages with LiveWire, and we're going to talk about dogs and cats.
Every year, tens of thousands of young people experience homelessness. If you or someone you know needs help, 1-800-RUNAWAY can provide support and connect you to the right resources. Together, we can end youth homelessness.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
There's a quiet battle happening on our streets. Pedestrians are acting indestructible. And drivers act like they own the road. They're both wrong. Be aware, be alert. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Yes, I said 4 feet, but here is a two-footed person to talk about it. It's Bobby Mann, who's the communications manager for the city of Sacramento in many places, right?
Yeah, primarily the Front Tree Animal Shelter.
That's where it is.
Yes, thank you so much for having me today.
It's great to have you back. You know, this fundraiser, I think we were here a year ago, right, to talk about this?
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Why do you look a year younger, though?
Why do I look younger? I don't know.
Nice work, buddy.
Makeup. But I can tell you something that Pause to Party was a very big event last year. People loved it.
It was. So it was a sold-out event last year. We had over 40 vendors. So that's beer, wine, food vendors last year. It was a great hit, and now we're coming back bigger and better than ever.
Better than ever. That is good, and it certainly benefits what has been a long-standing problem in our community, solved by the city slowly but surely, and it's good. The fact that it now has 2 places in the area, major places in the area, where lost dogs can be found, and dogs can be gotten.
Yeah. So there's actually 3 big shelters in Sacramento. There's the Sacramento SPCA, there's the county shelter off of Bradshaw, and then there's little old Front Street under the river.
Front Street,
next to
yes,
the river.
one of my favorite places.
Thank you very much. So this is our 6th annual gala, so the Pause to Party event. We're expecting about 1,000 people to attend, so it's going to be quite a party. Live music, great food tastings, beer, wine, distilleries, live auctions, and just, to us, the best party in town.
That's good, good, good. And, you know, I myself have an animal from there. It's this cat. You know, my wife and I went there with someone else a while back, and that cat came out up to the end of his cage and ran back and forth. Said, "Hey, look at this fur."
Oh my goodness!
And that was so okay. Well,
how long ago was that?
About 6 months ago.
Oh, fresh kitty.
Yeah, fresh kitty.
Nice, very good.
And he rules the house.
Yeah, that's what they always say. They say that, you know, we own dogs and cats own us. So
that's right.
That's the rules.
Well, there's that old joke that, you know, it's this, cats say, you know, oh man, you know, they feed us, or the dogs say, they feed us, they must be gods, you know, and the cats say, they feed us, we must be gods.
Right? Yeah, it's all about perception, right? And
it sure is.
That's actually a great point about public perception. So within the last 6 years at the Front Street Animal Shelter, we take in roughly 11,000 animals a year. It's a major project. And at that time, even 6 or 7 years ago, there wasn't really a great public perception of what we did because we were not very successful. But thanks to a ton of great volunteers, thanks to our leadership, and thanks to having access to shows like this, we are now saving more lives than ever.
That's good. That's very, very good. You know, because there are some horrible stories about times past, way past, and I think that those times have changed, where, you know, more animals are saved, and fewer animals are euthanized.
Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking, even 7 years ago, our shelter was euthanizing, you know, close to 80% of the animals. I mean, that was a reality of what our community was dealing with.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until Gina Knepp, our manager, came in and said, hey, let's really empower the community, allow them to volunteer their time, be transparent, and really own up to our faults that we had at that time, did we really start becoming successful. Now, within 6 years, we've flipped those numbers, and now we're saving over 80% of the animals.
Yeah, and also the city is also building dog parks and all kinds of services, and we understand that the dogs are part of our community, and cats too.
They are. So we have estimated about 250,000 animals that live within the city limits. And so we always like to remind people, most people are very responsible pet owners. You know, we take in about 11,000 of those 250,000.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are doing a great job, and I think a lot of those people will be at our event on Friday.
Good, and it's important that they are, because the city receives, or the shelters receive these funds not only to support what they do, but to help the people who really want an animal feel they need an animal but don't have the skills.
Absolutely. So, you know, with the funds that go toward the fundraising from this event, those are directly going toward life-saving medical expenses to our foster care programs. Since our shelter is a government facility, all of our positions are paid generously through taxpayer dollars.
Yes.
So the funding that you do come when you're coming to buy a ticket is really to help all of these four-legged critters that need your support.
That's great. And so the Pause to Party, that is, there's not only are there wineries and the breweries are there, but there's all sorts of events of
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of great entertainment. Elements Brass Band will be there. The Donnie and Mark show from KUBU will actually be doing a live show before it even starts.
And KUBU is an Access Sacramento. I have to put that in there. It's an Access Sacramento service to the community.
Yes, so they're coming out, donating their services. The Donnie and Mark are actually great ambassadors of our shelter, whether they're adopting or volunteering as well. So it's nice to have so many voices out there in the community, right?
It sure is.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some film from, I think, the last event.
Yeah.
We could have a look at that.
Would love to.
Okay, here we go. And I think there's also a couple of images, so you could start by narrating the images and then we'll segue.
I'll try my best. I don't know if I can keep up with the last segment, but I'm going to try my
well,
best.
I guess we got to.
So this looks like maybe Melting Pot having a good time. This was one of our 40 vendors that were there last year. Obviously, we're coming back bigger and better than ever. So typically people are walking through our doors, grabbing a wine glass and a tasting plate, going through and sampling some of the best food in town. There's lots of silent auction items. We actually have over 80 silent auction items.
Wow.
Ranging from, you know, local activities such as spin classes all the way up to trips to Tahoe in Mexico. So there's something for everybody's price point.
Wow,
As you can see, it was a jam-packed house last year. There was lots of great cupcakes, desserts, savory food, lots of treats, and you could also wash that down with a nice cold beverage. But we're also reminding people be very responsible. We're partnering with Lyft and Uber for the event as well.
Uber.
So make sure that you're very responsible and drive home safe.
Great.
Just like in that car in the California Auto Museum.
Love it. It's right across the street.
It is. So conveniently, it's located right across the street from the shelter at 2200 Front Street at the California Auto Museum. Like we said, live music. This is probably after people had a few good glasses of wine, you know, enjoying the mellow evening. But hopefully it's going to be another great event.
I foresee a 1928 Ford truck dog catcher.
I mean, I will take that now, man. I love old schools. As nostalgic as that might be, I would love to be putting around town and something that's beautiful.
That's right, yeah.
Probably worth more now
City
than it was
dog
then.
catcher, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Good, and we have them actually, but they're high tech things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Safer probably for the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually it's a great point. I mean, a lot of our new tools that we're getting. I mean, the city funds a lot of them, but we're able to help with a lot of behavior assessments for animals. We're able to do behavior modification, and the cool trucks too. They actually have air conditioning in the back for those hot Sacramento summers.
Ooh, yeah.
Keep the pets cool while they're taking their drive to Front Street.
Good. So it's an important event, and where's it going to be and when?
Our Pause to Party event is going to be October 12th at this Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the California Auto Museum, which is located at 2200 Front Street. If you want more information, you can visit us at frontstreetshelter.org and make sure you're tagging us in all your Instagram pictures at Front Street Animals.
And also you can go down and see the KUBU staff talking about what's happening at the event.
Oh yeah, and these guys, they know what they're talking about because they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. They're longtime volunteers of the shelter.
That's great. That's excellent. And if you can't get down there, you can't at all get down, you can listen.
Yeah, listen in. Also, even if you can't support this one event, we're having events throughout the entire year.
Yes.
And you could always come down and adopt. We're open Wednesday through Sunday from noon to 5 for adoptions. Like I said, we take 11,000 animals every single year, so there's always pets looking for their forever homes.
That's right. There's wonderful. And you know, my wife and I are just really happy with this cat, although he does tend to be, you know, he knows. We have this little bell hanging from the back door.
Oh, wow.
He goes out into the backyard. He wants to come in. He comes and swats the bell.
Oh, the bell didn't stand a chance, huh?
No, and we don't either, because we know we have to go and open the door then, you know.
Well, thank you for saving a life. That means the world to us.
Thank you for saving that life for us. So I think it's really great. So tell me a little bit about the event in terms of entertainment. We kind of skipped over that a little
Yeah,
bit.
so we're going to have probably 3 different live bands. We're going to be starting the event off with Elements Brass Band, who's going to be walking our new people into the event. It's going to be a great time. We're also going to have live DJs like DJ Chango. It's going to be a lot of different types of music so we can entertain all of our audiences. But the real entertainment is going to be mingling with 1,000 people from our community. I think oftentimes when we have fundraisers like this, people think it's about us. It's not. It's about celebrating the community that allows us to be successful. So it's about them.
It is about them, yeah, no doubt about it. It's about the animals too. Will I be able to go and have a look-see again?
So conveniently, the Front Street Shelter is located right across the street. So the event itself starts at 6. Our doors at Front Street close at 5:30. So we recommend
gotta
come a little
early.
check out a pup. If you fall in love, we'll let you put it on hold. And after your big party, you can come back the next day.
Great. And then you can walk across the street and go to the party.
Done and done. It sounds like quite the celebration to me.
It sounds like a great show. It sounds like a wonderful thing. And all that is good, cupcakes and all that, but there's a little more to it because there's some food trucks.
Yeah, so we'll be having a few food trucks outside, but mostly it's going to be a lot of our tasting vendors. We are going to be also having an after party at the Kimpton Sawyer Revival. They're throwing us an after party, so if you can't make it from 6 to 9, meet us at the Kimpton Sawyer for the puppy after party. And so it's just going to be a great time. I think that we're actually very excited that all of our online tickets have sold out, 1,000 people showing up, but just for your listeners, there will be some tickets available at the door, so don't be shy. Don't think you can't get in still.
You said that last time, and I now know that a couple of my friends got in.
Good.
Right at the last minute. There's a lot of last minute people in Sacramento.
Those are called strays, and we don't want to have any strays.
We don't want, of course not. That's right. So, and KUBU, well, it's a wonderful, that station, I was so surprised that when we got it on, you know, its signal actually goes almost over the whole downtown area.
Well, it's bouncing all through Front Street because I know when they're on, our staff is very invested in listening to these good guys.
Oh, and it's all, I think it goes, it's far up north, is, you know, like North Sacramento area.
Oh, great.
And then down probably near Laguna or just before that. I have my friends that say, though, at certain times of the day, they can get KUBU.
There we go. When the weather is clear, these guys always put a smile on your
right,
face.
And
Huh?
they get the antenna upright. So I just want to thank you again for coming.
Of course.
And I wish you well. And you say that there are other events throughout the year. How can we find out about them?
It's a great question, Ray. So you could always visit us at frontstreetshelter.org. You can also follow us at facebook.com/frontstreetanimalshelter. We do have an events page on there that shows everywhere we're going to be. Our goal is if people can't make it down to Front Street to adopt, we're taking pets to them.
Okay. Okay, it's Bobby Mann from that wonderful city of Sacramento and the animal shelters that do so well. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's it for today. You know, we have this show every week, 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, live at 5 on Wednesdays. It's called LiveWire. And then tomorrow night, you can actually see a rebroadcast of it. If you really liked us, if you really, really liked us. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.